Hi, you guys. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about anxiety, depression, panic attacks, derealization, depersonalization. Suffered it for a long time. Dated probably always back to my younger years. The most memorable ones was, as far as I remember when my mom used to leave and go to work and stuff like that, and I would just get scared. Me and my sister would get scared and just guess I was scaring myself for nothing, thinking my mom was gonna come back home. I was a baby, you guys, so don't laugh at that. But the most memorable ones, I think, is when I was high school. I remember sitting in my class and all of a sudden I got this rushing feeling of scaredness and running. My heart was beating as fast. Felt like I was gonna have a heart attack. That's basically what it felt. I was gonna have a heart attack. And I remember getting up and going to my teacher and telling him I don't feel good. And so I left class. I kind of walked and ended up down to the nurse's office and I sat in there for a while and stuff. And she asked me what was going on. I said, I don't know. My chest just started hurting and I don't know. I feel like I had to go somewhere. Like I had to run. And she said, "Oh, well, that's just probably you're probably anxious over something." Like, what is anxious? What is this lady talking about? So it worried me. It worried me so to the fact that actually it started progressing. Every time I thought about it, it felt like it was starting to happen, and it's starting to happen. And then this is, like I said, I didn't know nothing about it. I kind of hid it from everyone. I kind of didn't tell my mom, didn't tell my friends. I didn't want people to think that I was, going crazy. My father, he was schizophrenia and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, I don't want to, hope I don't end up like him. Then that made it even worse. And I remember probably within 2 months, it almost like subsided. It had got so bad for me, that it led me to derealization, where I felt like I was in a movie or a dream or something like that, and that just almost grounded me. I wasn't playing sports anymore. I wasn't the same me. But I remember me and my friends, we were drinking. We're drinking and having a good time and stuff like that, and so went to sleep or whatever, woke up, and we sitting there laughing about, the night before, and for like 5-10 minutes, it was almost like it went away. It went completely away. I didn't think about it. And then all of a sudden, it just came back. It's like, so I was like, wow, what, that went away. Like, ooh, okay, cool. So I thought it was the liquor or whatever. So I would drink, and I'll wake up the next day and think that it was going to be gone, but it didn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So, fast forward, until I got older, it kind of, after I call it beating it. After I ended up beating it, it had, it pretty much went away. All the symptoms went away. The panic attacks went away. The depression went away. All the symptoms of anxiety basically subsided, the derealization that left. And it was always like in the back of my mind, I would try my hardest, not to think about it, because I didn't want it to come back. I was scared of it. Feel like, like I was dying, like I was going crazy. That's what it felt like. And so fast forward to, adult years, got married and all kinds of other stuff, going on in my life, paying bills. And so I remember I was driving a transit bus, and a lady she had said something crazy to me, and I didn't like it, and I had to basically suck it up or whatever, because you can't really get into it with the passengers and stuff like that, but it just burnt me up to the point I was red hot. And so I remember I dropped her off, and I went to like the transit station. I felt them symptoms coming back, like I had to punch something, like I had to run, like I was on fire. And I started trying to fight the feeling of of that, because I knew what it was. I remember having that feeling before you know, the panic attack started and all the rest of that stuff that came with it started. And lo and behold, I couldn't fight it, and the more I fought it, the faster it came on, the harder it came on, and I started thinking about it. I got kids now. I can't be dealing with this kind of stuff. I don't know what to do. You know, talk to my wife. She is not going to understand. My mom don't understand. Basically felt like no one understood the stuff I was going through. And then after the panic attacks, you know, here goes that derealization stuff again, and that just really knocked me out. I ended up having to quit my job. Didn't want to go outside, didn't want to associate with anybody. And I remember going to the doctor, you know, because it was like to the point where, you know, people were wondering, like, man, this dude, I lost about 30 pounds, man, you know, in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Like, literally, I couldn't eat, stay up all night, you know, worried about what's happening to me. And then I remember going to the doctor, and they try to give me some stuff called Silexa or something. And so I'm like, man, I got to read the side effects. Man, I ain't finna take this stuff, man. The side effects cause all kind of kidney problems, and you know, if you start feeling more depressed, contact your physician. So I got to think, well, damn, if I take this, I'm gonna end up killing myself, because you know, when you have anxiety and derealization, you know, depression sets, and then you start having all these weird thoughts, like, am I gonna kill myself? Am I gonna go hurt somebody? Am I gonna hurt my family? The answer to that, guys, is no, you're not. You're not going to do none of that. You're not going to hurt yourself. You love yourself. You're not going to hurt your family. You love your family. You're not going crazy. You're not none of that stuff. It just, basically, you done scared your way to that point. And so that's what happened with it. And so I basically just kind of threw the medicine on the shelf and said, I'm not going to take this stuff. I can't. I might flip out. I'm already at the, you know, my breaking point. And so I did a little bit more research. It led me to, you know, the organic store, you know, and stuff like that. So I went down there, talked to a couple people and stuff, and gave them, you know, symptoms of what's happening with me. The friendliest people in the world, guys. If you can ever go to a homeopathic organic store, stuff like that, man, go down there and just visit them people. Them are some smart people, you know. You got to think about what you know, what other people did back in the days, you know, to get through this stuff before we had all this modern medicine. You know, these people are really knowledgeable about, you know, herbs and you know, vitamins and stuff like that. You know, and all that stuff down there is all natural. You know, even if you can go organic as far as your meat products and your veggie products, you guys jump on that stuff. You know, I did it for a long time, almost a year and a half. End up relapsing off of it, you know, just because you know, it is a little costly when you're trying to, you know, balance bills and you got a family and stuff like that. You know, it was easy when I was just doing it myself, but you know, my family started liking it, you know, and so I couldn't afford to feed them, and you know, me too, you know, with all this organic stuff. So, but if you can afford it, man, do it. You know, you never feel so vibrant and so alive. You know, your skin clears up. You don't have as many sicknesses. You know, you just feel great. So I went down there and got some St. John's Wort. Lady put me on some vitamin B's, and I took some D vitamins just because it was like in the fall time of you know, so it was, you know, that winter blues. So I did that. And then, you know, I started, I don't know, I just started feeling like better. You know, it'd be, like I said, 10, 15 minutes I would go, and I wouldn't have those feelings, you know, and I always kept wondering, why do I have these feelings, you know, when I'm thinking about it, I don't, you know, when I'm not paying attention, they're gone. You know, I'm laughing, and just all of a sudden, you know, then I started thinking about it. I was like, oh yeah, I do have anxiety, so I better go back to, you know, the way I was feeling. And that's basically how it worked. And then I had, like I said, I was just about ready to do anything. If you had told me that goat shit would cure it, I would eat that all day and night, literally, because that's those who suffer from it. You know what I mean. You would walk here to the end of the earth, and back just to get rid of these crazy thoughts and crazy feelings. And so I was up one night and I seen this lady. Pretty sure guys, whoever knows about Lucinda Bassett, got her program, learned it. Great program. Like I said, if you can, it's like $600. So if you can afford, to toss $600, for this program that she has, this lady's smart. This lady's, she's good at what she do. She was a long time sufferer. She got it all down, and it helped me through so much. The way I was feeling, I actually was able to put a name on the symptoms and stuff that I was having, and because I didn't know what derealization was. I thought I was going crazy. I didn't know what depersonalization was. I didn't know what none of that stuff was. I never heard of that stuff in my life. But she just talks you through everything, just all the ins and the outs, the stuff you should do. Get out there and exercise, run. In a nutshell, anxiety is just you scaring yourself. That's all it is. Panic attacks, you just scare yourself right into a panic attack. If you sit there and started having a conversation with your panic attack and just say, come on, give it all you got. I'm not scared of you. Run. Go ahead. Do it. Do it. Do it. Go ahead. Kill me. Kill me. It's not going to kill you, man. It's not going to do nothing for you. It's just you scaring yourself. You're not going to kill yourself. You're not going to have a heart attack. It just feels like that. That's all it does. It's just a sensation. But if I guarantee you, if you sit there and you confront your panic attacks instead of running from your panic attacks, I bet you $1 million, literally, I bet you $1 million that panic attack will stop. And I bet you won't have panic attacks no more. You won't even worry about it. Like this time, like even till the day, I still have anxiety as far as, not that I don't have anxiety like no more, but there's times when I get overly stressed or overly anxious, maybe I done had too much candy or coffee or something like that and I feel the symptoms, but I can control it now. It's like if say, okay, that's a panic attack, whatever, and I go right about my business and it never even gets to a panic attack. It just kind of goes away and I'll be back to business. I've been out of this stuff for almost, I say about 3 years. I've been back on my toes, so everything's going good. People, like I said, get on some B vitamins because they do help with your, your balance in your brain and stuff like that. And for the people that suffered from the panic attack part, just confront it. Take it down head on. Come on, give me all you got. I guarantee you to stop. People that suffer from derealization, depersonalization, all that is your brain has been working too hard. It's stressed out. It's almost like in safe mode. It will go away. It's just another symptom of the panic attacks once you get yourself too far and too worried into that mode. So with that is, all you have to do is find yourself a happy place. I know it's hard. It's really hard to find a happy place, but you got to start stimulating your mind, and doing something else. Don't go to movies. You're not gonna. That's not gonna help you. Get something that gets your brain thinking. Take up a hobby of building stuff where you actually have to use your brain. Just try to find something that you really like, or try to learn a different language. There's a bunch of different stuff you can do to kind of help subside that until you get yourself back together. Me personally, I would always tell people, I don't like the medication that they have out there for us that suffered. Go to organic store, the Wedge or Trader Joe's, or I prefer the Wedge. I went to Trader Joe's, it just wasn't for me. No offense to Trader Joe's, but the Wedge still got people in there that's really knowledgeable about everything. Anything from skin disease to it is everything. Not just for anxiety, it's for everything. So I always keep my foot in the door over there, and just try to relax, because that's what happened. You're really anxious. Put the coffee down, Stop smoking weed. For those of you that smokes weed, stop drinking, because that's not gonna really help you. Like I said, I thought it was helping me, but it was more of me laughing and joking and with my friend that actually kind of cleared it up for a second. Watch as many. I'm talking about literally go to some store, Best Buy, or if you got Netflix or whatever. Watch every funny movie that you can absolutely watch. Just take and watch them. Just watch all of them. Watch all of them. The more you laugh, the more happy you are, the more you feel better. Find yourself a happy place. I guarantee that you'll be okay. Take some B vitamins. I guarantee it'll help. Get some rest. A lot of times we can't sleep because we're worried about it. But get yourself some rest. It does help. Start exercising. It does help you start to feel good about yourself when you exercise. Talk to people about it. Let people know, aware of about anxiety and stuff like that. Like I said, just try to be easy. You guys can always email me anything. I also have the Lucinda Bassett workshop for those of you that's thinking about spending that money. I kind of I feel like I owe it to you guys, to give you guys that, just because it was so helpful to me, and it was, everybody can't afford that kind of cash. I couldn't afford it. I had to dip in, my savings account just to get it, and I was fortunate that she was there, to help me. So, yeah, I'll extend my hand to, to give it to you guys. I'm not asking for no money or nothing like that. Just if I do give it to you, make sure you bless somebody else that's out there, to go through it and to help them, and that's all I would ever want is, for us to get knowledgeable of it. Thank you for watching. Talk to you guys later, and take care. God bless you.